morning, friends. I bet you woke up this morning going, when I go to church, I hope we sing around. I hope we sing around, because that would just make my day. So let's do it. Hymn number 1059 out of the Till Hymn Book. May your life be as a song. The words are right up here. Let's sing it together once. May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing away the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Randy Grosstick's playing drums with us today. Randy, if you have a little beat that might join that with us, because when we break into the round, singing the round, what's fun about singing with the round is this screen doesn't care anything about you. It doesn't care how intent you look at it, but we do. We care about seeing your face and kind of being in relationship with each other. I'm right behind you. So let's do it one more time, and Randy will add in some drums, and then we'll break into and try to be in relationship with each other. 2 and ready and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing away the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Let's be brave and do a 4-part round. I know. Let's do it. Let's do it. This will be group 1, these first 3 rows, and you're going to be with the sopranos. Okay? The rest of the rows over here are going to be with the altos, group number 2. Group number 3 will be clear up to this row here, and you'll be with the basses and baritones. And the rest of us will be group number 4 with the tenors. And we'll each do the song 3 times through. All right? If you get lost and you join someone else, who cares? Just have fun, whatever you're doing. All right, sopranos, you're going to start it out for us. 1 and 2, and here we go.
May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing with the light, and sing with the dawn, to sing with the light, and sing with the dawn, to sing with the light, and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing softly
But we do love to have the lyrics last to the end of the song. Otherwise, we're la la la. Thank you. You were brilliant. All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Don't the flowers just look spectacular? Yes. Love it. I love it. Welcome to the Olympia UU Congregation. Our community envisions an interconnected world that's loving, just, and healthy. We commit to live out our mission to welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. Thank you for joining us this morning. You're welcome here just as you are, whatever beliefs sustain you, whomever you love, however you understand and express your identity, and all the ways you're learning to be and still becoming the person you aspire to be. My name is Kurt Hill. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. Joining me in worship this morning is Reverend Mary Geer and our music director, Troy Fisher. Here are a few things to know about our service this morning. We're Zooming live on Zoom, of course, right? And it's become a verb, hasn't it? It really is a verb now. So we're on YouTube, and there will be subtitles on the screen here for those of you in the sanctuary. Over here we have fluffy chairs and activities for your hands so that everyone can feel comfortable. We are a multi-generational community, and we value our young ones. Kids, babies, and teens are welcome in the sanctuary. There's a nursery care and story time program for the children in the classroom wing. We're grateful for the many hands that make worship happen this morning. Thank you to all who contribute in so many ways. After service, everyone will have an opportunity to reflect on questions offered by Reverend Mary. If you're online, please join a virtual chat in one of the breakout rooms. And for those of you who are in person, please feel free to stay for coffee and tea and discuss those questions in the Commons right after service. At 11:30, after the coffee chat, please return to the main room or sanctuary for the congregational meeting at 11:45. For those on site, the Board of Trustees will have provided finger food so we can all be present without dealing with our grumbling stomachs. The OUUC Spring Concert, Where the Light Begins, will be Sunday, June 16th. That's the next Sunday at 7 p.m. Please come join us for a wonderful evening of choral music. Reverend Mary's sabbatical is just about upon us. Thank you to everyone who has submitted a card so far. They will be given to Reverend Mary at our send-off ritual next week. If you haven't yet filled out a card and would like to participate, there's still time. The sabbatical committee, that is a mouthful. The sabbatical committee, or SABCOM as they like to be known, will be collecting cards until 10 a.m. next Sunday. Please look for the colorful box and blank cards in the Commons. If you'd like to mail a card, please send it as soon as possible and mark it sabbatical send-off on the envelope so it will be included. For more information on the sabbatical, please check out the kiosk in the Commons, the sabbatical page on the OUUC website for the most up-to-date information. Now, let us open our hearts and minds as we prepare for worship. It is good to be together. This morning, we join with Unitarian Universalists all over the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition. If you're online and have a chalice or a candle, please join me as we light our chalices together with the words of Reverend Meg Barnhouse. We gather to worship, our hearts alive with hope that here we will have been truly seen, that here we will be welcomed into the garden of this community, where the simple and the elegant, the fluted and frilled, the shy and dramatic complement one another and are treasured. May we know that here each contributes in their way to the beauty of the whole.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Mary, and I use she, her pronouns. I am an older white woman with brown and silver hair wearing glasses, and today I have on black and bright pink and a stole with all the colors of the spring flowers. Our opening words are adapted from a short piece written by the Reverend Sarah Schur. Today we celebrate the coming of spring and the love of community with a flower ceremony. Some of you may be visiting for the first time today or did not know about today's flower ceremony. This is a beloved annual ritual in many Unitarian Universalist congregations, including this one. Though some of you may have come without a flower, others have brought extra flowers. That's how community works. Everyone is welcome and everyone can participate in this special ritual. Through some miracle, similar to the story of the loaves and fishes, there are always flowers left at the end of the flower communion. This is the grace of our church community. All may come forward and all will be served. Come, let us worship together.
Let's sing a song together, hymn number 78 out of the gray hymnal, Color and Fragrance. A beautiful song with lyrics and music by Norbert Chapek. I invite you to rise in body and spirit. And let's sing this together.
It was 1923 in the city of Prague, in the newly formed country of Czechoslovakia. 5 years after the end of what would be the First World War, the people of Prague were still recovering. The war had left many miseries and a hard life for the people. Families had been broken up, businesses had been ruined, and many didn't have enough money to meet their ends. Still, people came to church because they were eager for worship, spirituality, connection, and hope. Norbert Čapek was born in 1870 and grew up in troubled times in Europe. During World War I, he was threatened because he spoke out against those who tried to restrict freedom of worship. So Norbert and his wife came to America, where he discovered Unitarianism and became a Unitarian minister. Once the war ended, he returned home to share his love of Unitarianism with the people of his country. He moved to Prague in 1921 and started a brand new church, which grew steadily as more and more people came to listen to Reverend Norbert's sermons. Although it was several years after the war, the daily struggles continued. Reverend Norbert knew the weariness of the troubles and sadness his people carried and how they yearned for a sense of connection and possibility. One day he went for a walk along the river Vltava, which winds through Prague, wondering how to lift the spirits of his congregation and help them have hope. Reverend Norbert saw a flower growing in a barren spot near the edge of a river. The beauty and bravery of the little plant lifted his spirits. He wanted to share that uplifting feeling with his congregation, but how? Then he realized that it was spring, and there were flowers growing everywhere. So Reverend Norbert spread the word to his congregation to bring a flower to the worship service the next Sunday. His people came with all kinds of flowers. There was so much color and beauty in their sanctuary that morning. On June 4th, 1923, Reverend Norbert's plain little church was bursting with colorful clusters of flowers, each uniquely beautiful, short, tall, spiky, round, scented, and vibrant. And the uniquely beautiful faces of the congregants were bursting with smiles of warmth and hope as they felt the powerful forces of growth and possibility in nature and in each other. At the end of the service that day, when each person chose a flower to take home, the seeds of hope, harmony, and fellowship went with them and began to grow in their hearts and spirits. The first flower communion ceremony was more than 100 years ago, during a time of sadness and recovery, of divisions and struggles, of searching for connection and hope. The human impulse to gather in community remains the same across the ages. This ends our story. Each Sunday, we engage in the spiritual practice of generosity and gratitude by joining together in service to our community and something greater than ourselves. We each have the power to share, and when we contribute a gift to create that offering, together we're able to do more than we can as individuals. We also express our gratitude for the gifts that life has given us, for the network of relationships in which we live, and for the presence of this community. If you're new or visiting us for the first or second time, you're our guest and we don't expect you to contribute. However, if you're moved to do so, what you share will be most gratefully received. The offering here collected does two things. It helps support the ongoing work of this congregation, which is supported, of course, by your regular pledges. This offering also supports an organization that serves our community in harmony with our Unitarian Universalist values. Our Share the Plate organization for May and June is the Crisis Clinic of Thurston and Mason counties. This is what they share about their work.
Hey there, my name is Zach Duncan, and I'm the executive director of a nonprofit agency in the community called the Crisis Clinic of Thurston and Mason counties. On behalf of the Crisis Clinic, our staff, and our 35-plus volunteers who ensure the continuity of our 24-hour services, I want to sincerely welcome you today to the Olympia Universalist Unitarian Congregation. Thank you so very much for being here gathered today and for your support of invaluable community resources like those provided by the Crisis Clinic. We simply could not be here providing the support to over 12,000 callers each year if it wasn't for the amazing support people like yourselves giving back to make a positive impact on the lives of others. I also want to thank the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation and the Share the Plate Committee for selecting the Crisis Clinic as one of their beneficiaries over the next 2 months. We cannot thank you enough for the ongoing support. Since 1972, the Crisis Clinic has been providing 24-hour crisis intervention services via phone, free of charge, to anyone in need of supports or resources for over 50 years now across our shared community of the greater Puget Sound area. We also operate a youth helpline to ensure that young people across our area have access to 24-hour crisis support services. In 2023 alone, Crisis Clinic's volunteers and staff answered and provided support on almost 12,000 calls from people in crisis, or almost 1,000 callers per month. And we remain one of, if not the, last remaining crisis line in Washington State that provides services anonymously and confidentially to our callers. On crisis, anything that somebody is struggling with or experiencing hardship over in the present. We believe that everyone is deserving of support during these especially challenging moments and strive to ensure that support is available to anyone in need. We also work with educators in our local school districts, provide needed education around issues such as suicide awareness and prevention and youth mental health for middle schoolers and high schoolers throughout Thurston and Mason counties. The reality is that the Crisis Clinic absolutely depends on the buy-in and partnership of our community to continue providing these services with the compassion, empathy, and dedication required for many years to come. While we do heavily rely on the generous donations of individuals and organizations like the Olympia UU, we are always seeking new volunteers to join our amazing team in providing our crisis services to anyone in need of support. We are also seeking new members for the Crisis Clinic Board of Directors if you are interested in bringing your unique skills to the table as a member of our leadership. We would absolutely be thrilled if there were any members of the Olympia UU who are interested in giving back as a member of our volunteer team or applying for a position on the Board of Directors at the Crisis Clinic. Volunteer applications for the upcoming training and for the Board of Directors may be submitted on our website at www.crisis-clinic.org/volunteer. All other financial contributions can be made at crisis-clinic.org/donate. Thank you again so much for being here and to the Olympia UU congregation for your support of the Crisis Clinic. We're so grateful.
Money is simply energy. Money can be stuffed in a mattress or kept in an offshore bank account to provide a sense of security or to move us just a little bit closer to that ever elusive sense of enough. Money can also be used to do great good in the world. We know that the church needs our strong support in order to fulfill our shared mission of transforming ourselves and transforming the world. May the offering now be generously given as it is so gratefully received. Thank you so much for your generous gifts and all the ways that you share them. Okay, so here's the story. Troy's been teasing me for a couple weeks about, you all need to sing me out next week with Run, Mary, Run. And I learned something this week that I didn't know, which was that back in the day, gay men used to call each other Mary. Did you all know that? I did not. How could I live this long and not know that? So this song isn't about me. This song is about gay men saying to each other, you have the right to the tree of life. Mary, you have the right to the tree of life. I might also, but really, the song isn't about me. So thank you, Troy, for teaching me something this week. And thank you, choir, for your beautiful song. We came together this morning bringing all that is in our lives. So let's open our hearts to the complexity of life as we place stones in the water of community. We hear a drumbeat as we share today, bringing into our awareness that our individual hearts beat, and together we create the heartbeat of our community. So right now, let's just all take a deep breath together, in and out. And we open our hearts to receive the complexity of all that is in our lives and our community today. Hawthorne Campbell shares that her cousin Daniel, who is in his 40s, has been diagnosed with an aggressive cancer and is not expected to live for more than 6 months. Daniel has elected to prioritize quality over quantity of life and plans to attend the World Series of Poker in Las Vegas. Absolutely, something he's wanted to do for a long time. Hawthorne asks that we keep Daniel and his family in our thoughts, especially Daniel's mother, Ginger, for whom a son's death is an uncomfortably familiar experience. Hawthorne, we are sending love and care to you and your family this day. Fred Kellogg shares that he had his gallbladder removed yesterday at Swedish Hospital after several weeks of symptoms and an ambulance ride to Seattle. I talked to Fred yesterday. He is recovering well, and he hopes to go home very soon. Fred still plans to move to Cameroon to be with his beloved Beatrice in July, and so he will be reaching out for our help with packing and storage and such. And Fred, we wish you a speedy recovery and a smooth move. And speaking of moves, Steve Baker shares that he will be moving to Hawaii this month after a bit more than a year in Olympia and at OUUC. Steve wanted to express his sincere thanks to everyone for the warm welcome he received here in this community. He also sends a special thanks to the OUUC Buddhist group, the Environmental Action Team, and to Troy Fisher for granting him access to the grand piano to practice. Steve, we send you our warm wishes for all the best in your move and as you settle in the Aloha State. For those online, I invite you to share from your heart by entering in the chat. Those of us in the sanctuary can see your sharing on the screen. And for those on site today, I invite you to come forward if there's something you'd like to bring into the community. You may place a stone in the water as you hold your sharing in your heart. It works best if you come up by the side aisle and return by the center aisle. Let's hear the heartbeat of our community and reach out our hearts in love and care to all those who share. We place a stone in the water for all that has been shared online, shared from the heart. And one more stone placed in the water for all that we hold in our hearts and that remains unspoken. I invite you to center yourself and remember to breathe as you feel your feet connecting to the earth and you settle in place. And just take a few deep breaths. These are the words of the Reverend Christine Dance. Spirit of life, spirit of love, that which is held in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. Our lives are like flowers. Like the flowers of the story, we gather flowers for our crowns. We collect beautiful moments, beautiful joys, delightful experiences, laughter, and smiles. May we celebrate the beauty of the precious, beautiful flowers. But most flowers fall off of their branches at the end of the season. It is inevitable that they die. And so it is with our lives. There are times that our flowers wilt and die. We create space for the sorrows of our lives, the challenges, the disappointments, the sadnesses, the losses, and the struggles. We make space to mourn and to cry. All is welcome here. And then there are times when we wait for the flowers to return, the liminal space in between. May we have hope that they will return to their full beauty soon. For all the seasons of our lives, we rely on the strength of community, our faith, and the confidence that we are all part of the cycle of life and that love endures. Join me in a moment of silence as we contemplate the flowers of our lives.
Today's first reading is from The Maid, written by Nita Prose. The protagonist and sleuth of the story, Molly the Maid, shares the wisdom of her grandmother. We are all the same in different ways.
So Molly the Maid is typical of many protagonists in mystery stories. A regular person going about their daily life who finds themselves in the middle of an unexplained situation and who must use their wits and their skills and their friends to solve the mystery. And in the novel, The Maid, Molly is a regular person and not so regular. As the story unfolds, we learn that Molly is neurodiverse. While Molly, or the author who created Molly, never uses that word neurodiverse, we learn that Molly knows that she thinks differently than others. Her brain works differently from others, and that she is often the butt of jokes and teasing by coworkers in the posh hotel where she cleans guest rooms. She has been teased and excluded all of her life, except by her grandmother. While investigating a murder that occurs in her hotel, Molly learns more about the benefits of having a brain that doesn't work quite like everyone else. And by the end of the story, with some help from new friends who appreciate Molly's different way of thinking and her many gifts, the mystery is solved. Now, I've been reading mysteries since grade school, starting with Nancy Drew and working my way through Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie. There's something to be gained from having everything nicely wrapped up by the end of the book. And now I like to find women authors who create interesting characters and creative stories where I can't figure out who done it very quickly. And while I've read about many characters who were skilled and smart and more observant than regular people, I've never read of a character who was so clearly neurodiverse. And I was delighted to meet Molly. Now, it's probably likely that Sherlock Holmes was neurodiverse, but the term wasn't present in the late 1800s. It wasn't even created until 1998. So probably Conan Doyle didn't create Holmes with that in mind. I was listening to this mystery last month when our spiritual theme was pluralism. And I was thinking about how we can learn to appreciate and embrace different, not just acknowledge and tolerate differences. The story of Molly the Maid is a great example of this spiritual practice of pluralism. And so, with love at the center and the spiritual practice of pluralism in our hearts, we move into June, Pride Month. This month we celebrate Stonewall, when brave trans women led a revolution against police brutality and acted upon those who were different. This month we celebrate the LGBTQI+ community with rainbow flags and marches. And this month, we hold up the many ways that we humans express our gender and sexuality. This month. And of course, the practice is to celebrate our differences every month, not just in June. To be brave, to use pronouns and use the names and pronouns someone chooses, not the ones we assume. To view our actions and words through the lens of anti-oppression, noticing that we live in a culture that says one way and only one way is good or allowed or rewarded, or that there is only one way of being or thinking or acting, and only one kind of body is sacred. To speak up when others are excluded, belittled, made invisible, to wholeheartedly welcome the variety of our human expression. This past week, the new lead for the Unitarian Universalist Association Pacific Western Region was announced. This is the region that OUUC is a part of. I was delighted to see that our new regional lead is the Reverend Sunshine Jeremiah Wolf, pronouns they, them. Reverend Sunshine describes himself this way: I think all my identities give me a unique perspective into this work as a non-binary, transgender, Eastern Cherokee, Seminole, white, neurodivergent, disabled human from a poor family. There are a lot of things to consider, says Reverend Sunshine. And yes, indeed, there are a lot of things to consider. I have experienced Reverend Sunshine as a thoughtful advocate for the all-encompassing love as the center of our faith and for embracing the many ways that we experience the world. I look forward to working with Reverend Sunshine to see what we, the collective UUs in the Pacific Western region, can be and do together. Reverend Sunshine is what leadership looks like. Just as I am what leadership looks like, and you, and you, and you are what leadership looks like. Each of us is a leader, and our leadership is the same in different ways. This month, our spiritual theme is renewal. It's a theme of special importance to me as I prepare to go on sabbatical. And sabbatical is a time for congregational renewal too, a time of renewed engagement in the congregation's life, renewal of identity as a community of shared values, and a renewal of putting our faith into action. This month and moving into the summer, I invite you to renew your commitment to creating community, to embracing the variety of our shared humanity, and to opening your heart to the wonder of each person as we gather together in community. Because we never know what the next mystery is going to be and whose gifts might be needed to solve it.
Today's second reading is titled, We Will Be Renewed by Pat Uribe Lichty. We come together with our tired minds and bodies, with our confusion and questions, our uncertainties and our fears. We come together with our hopes, with our pasts and our ideas, our passions and our faiths. We come together bringing all of who we are, trusting that in gathering we will be renewed, and that together we can create the world we long for.
We bring, share, and receive many gifts in this community. Gifts of music, gifts of passion, gifts of learning and teaching, gifts of insight and questions, gifts of time and money. Each gift is a little different. Each gift is as unique as the individual who embodies it. We are all the same in different ways. Today we also have the gift of flowers, overflowing beauty, color, fragrance, shape, texture. Each is precious, from the forget-me-not to the daisy to the showy peony, all the same in different ways. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts. Just like these flowers, each of you is a gift, and each of you is precious. I bless these flowers with the consecration that was written by Reverend Norbert Chapek. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us that amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of others' talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the effort of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. Amen. And now we receive the gifts of community. If you're joining us on Zoom today, I invite you to choose gallery view on your screen, and we'll do the same here in the sanctuary. And if you brought a flower with you or can find a flower this morning, turn on your camera and share it with us so we can see. And then look around at the faces and flowers of those who are worshiping online with you today. Reflect on the unique gifts that you bring to this community and the unique gifts that you receive. And we're going to share flowers here in the sanctuary, which might take a little bit of time, so feel free to hold your flower up for as long as you like, and please do rest when you get tired. Now, if you are in the sanctuary, I invite you to come forward by the center aisle and return by the side aisles to choose a flower that speaks to you. So if you come up the center in 2 rows, we can probably do that with 2. And if you are not able to come forward or prefer not to, ask your neighbor or an usher or someone else to bring a flower to you. We have plenty of flowers for everyone today. I invite you to come and receive the gifts of community.
You, I receive to you.
Would you please join me in the spirit of prayer? These words are offered by the Reverend Dr. Peter Samoyski, who is the current minister of the Prague Unitarian Congregation in the Czech Republic. In the name of what is holy, in the name of what is good, in the name of that which gives life, we have gathered here in this place today. We have been given life to live under the aspect of eternity, for that is the source of our happiness, to work on ourselves and bring happiness into our lives, to be as valid as possible with others with whom we are connected by invisible relationships. You, the flowers, remind us of the wonderful simplicity of the natural order and that we, too, are part of it. You remind us of the beauty and harmony of diversity. You remind us that one can feel and perceive and live unity in diversity, and diversity in unity. Let the spirit of creative life unite us as it reigns among us.
Let's sing together hymn number 352, Find a Stillness. I invite you to rise in body and in spirit.
We extinguish our chalice with these words of the Reverend Jonalu Johnstone. May the flower you have chosen remind you of the blessings you receive from those gathered here. May it remind you of the beauty of this earth, of the natural world, and all the gifts that our human, animal, and plant companions share with us. May it remind you of the artwork we created here together, and the art we create here together week after week, the art of creating community. May you go in peace, go in joy, go in love.
solo, Carl. Wonderful. Thank you, Randy.